Please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright. And as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadeh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterka, Yad Zerizonka, Kim Bashamayim came by Aretz, and Lekam Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Sol King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiam Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King called Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sila. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
Remember that this is the morning of the third day, and I shall rise again. I am the resurrection. All of prophecy tells you that I shall rise again. It's all about that. Luke chapter 2, verse 34. No doubt about it. Again, I love you forever, bless you forever. I remind you once again, my associates are children of the light. That just brings laughter to my heart, to my soul, to realize that at last, I have those of you that love peace. And I only want to be in the presence of those of you that love peace. I love you forever. Shalom Aleichem.
Praise Yahweh. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that you should know because it's the duty of the Son of God to proclaim his Father's name. And here you have a whole bunch of people going to church, 400,000 churches, and they don't know the name of the Father. They say such silly things like, Father, God, help me. Both of them titles. Father is a title, God is a title. Who's going to answer to that? The purpose of the coming of the Son is to reveal the name of the Father. That's who he prayed to, our Father, and he called his name. He said, hallowed be, holy be thy name. How can it be holy to you and you don't know it? Interesting, isn't it? There are a lot more interesting questions than that about that situation. But when you begin to read your Bible, as I call this to your attention, you will discover from the Old Testament of Genesis all the way through Revelations, it's all about the name of the Father. It's all about his name. But somebody got you calling some other kind of name other than the Father's name. And you don't know his name. And unless you learn his name, then you're never going to move from poverty to riches. And if you don't come into the knowledge of the name. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that you have the same God, have the same churches, and the same name that white people have? I mean, have you noticed? You do. Our people have the same, right? Isn't it strange how God always answers white people's prayers? Black folk prayers don't seem to be the same magnitude. You know, you say, well, I get my prayers answered, but why don't you ever get answered to be the ruler? I mean, you know, my people are always on their knees in front of white people, asking white people to let them be accepted. Why do you need to ask white people for acceptance? Why don't you just ask God? Doesn't your God have enough power to make you accept it? Why can't you be the people that everybody else wants to be among? Why are you always running after somebody else to be among them? What's wrong with your God? Why do you have to go around always on your knees with your hat in your hand begging for a job from white people? Why don't your God just give you some jobs? Oh, I have to ask you some serious questions because white people move from poverty to riches every day. Huh? They come from Russia. They come from Europe. They come from England. They come from all over the world with nothing on the ship. Come and get in your neighborhood. Come with a buggy and a basket and a wagon and push it around in your neighborhood and move from poverty to riches out of your pockets. You live in the neighborhood and stay poor and just pray all the time. You prayed enough to rule all the world. So who is Yahweh? Yahweh is the God of the Bible. He's the God of the Hebrews. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Yahweh is the man that beat up on Pharaoh. Y'all remember how he put plagues in Egypt? That was Yahweh did that. Yahweh is the one that when Pharaoh got real sassy, he drowned him in the Red Sea. That's Yahweh who did it. Yahweh is the man that when Daniel refused to bow down to another nation and quit facing the east and praying, when he refused to stop praying to his God, which was Yahweh, they said, well, we're going to put you in the lion's den and starve them. Threw him in the lion's den. Yahweh locked the jaws of the lion. Lions could do him no harm. Rulers got scared. Came and got Daniel out and made him a ruler. Right? I just want you to know who Yahweh is. He made the sun, the moon, and the stars, all what you see and haven't seen. Okay. So who is Yahweh ben Yahweh? I am his son. I am his son. That's who I am. I am the son of Yahweh. I don't care who else is the son or who else they are. It makes me no difference. I'm not here tonight concerning myself with who is the son of who. I'm the son of Yahweh. I have to tell you who I am. Yahweh is my father. I am his son. What makes me his son? What makes me Yahweh's son is I do not have a will outside of his. I have no thoughts, no ideas, and no program outside of Yahweh. You'll find that all that I ever do, all that I've ever done, and all that I'm ever going to do is found right in the Bible and is traced right to his will. No exception. I take no credit for all that I have built. It's all in his name. Yuhei-Wafe. That's one of the things that make me his son. Also, I have no difference in his word. I only speak his words. Even the words I've spoken to you thus far, the principles of those words are all in the Bible. Every single one of them is found in the Bible. No exceptions. So I walk as he says walk. I talk as he says talk. I act as he says act. I do whatever he says do. I have no idea of doing it any other way. Those are the things that makes me his son. I obey his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments. That's why I'm successful. He said in his holy word that if I obey his law, statutes, judgments, and commandments, that he would make everything, all the works of my hand would prosper. So all the works of my hands is prospering. I'm telling you why. Now, what about you? You might say, well, if you're the son of Yahweh, can I be? Of course you can. Of course you can be the sons of Yahweh. Every one of you can be. Every one of you can be the daughters of Yahweh. All you have to do is like I do. Obey his will, just like I do. You automatically become. You believe on his name, then you have eternal life. There's no other name under heaven that you can be saved in other than God who created it. You can't be saved in no name but the name of the one who created everything. And he gave his son a name higher than all the angels in heaven. What's the name higher than all the names that the angels could possibly have? The Father's name. There can be no name higher than the Creator's. So the son has to come in his father's name. Just like if your name is Davis, then your father was named Davis. If your name is Smith, your father's name was Smith. My name is Yahweh, so my father's name is Yahweh. That's logical.
Know and rest your mind assured. Our eyes have seen his works before, and until my last day. 'Tis Yahweh I will praise, Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. I certainly like to thank the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for coming to us and teaching us who is Yahweh as no one else ever could do. Praise Yahweh. Also, I want to thank the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh for teaching us our true history, which used to be the world's best kept secret. Praise Yahweh. And now a brief bio on the master teacher, the founder of the nation of Yahweh, the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Yahweh Ben Yahweh came to Miami, Florida alone in 1979 to become the spiritual leader and founder of the nation of Yahweh. Although he took a vow of poverty that same year, within 7 years, he guided the nation and those who followed his teachings and principles to amass an economic empire in the greater Miami area and throughout the United States worth over $250 million. Under his direction, the nation of Yahweh has grown to encompass disciples, followers, believers, and supporters in thousands of cities across the United States of America, and indeed throughout the four corners of the earth. The University of Yahweh, for which he has established the curriculum, and for which he has received great acclaim in educational excellence, currently has locations across the United States. The moral teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh is bringing about a change in the lives of individuals and causing them to take a different approach to life. This approach is based on the scripture which reads, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Yahweh Ben Yahweh continues to give. That which he has given cannot be measured in monetary wealth. Yahweh Ben Yahweh has given the world the keys to success in life politically, educationally, economically, socially, and spiritually. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Grand Master of the Celestial Lodge, the architect of the universe, the blessed and only potentate, the founder of the nation of Yahweh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
I'm building my kingdom with you who voluntarily receive me. Behold, I stand at your door and I knock. Some of you are sitting back in there, got your door all locked up, hollering out, "Who is it?" I don't mind telling you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. And I'm calling out and saying, there's a terrible storm. It's a big storm headed your way. And it's called the fall of Satan. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble. Now, the main reason I called you together tonight, from Homestead, Fort Lauderdale especially, is a very important revelation. It's earth-shaking. It clearly means that the civil liberties of all people in America have now been taken away. All civil liberties of all people of every color have now been officially, legally, as they say, taken completely away. We're now living in a totalitarian state, a complete police state. It is now complete. There are those of you who do not know what this means, and I'm going to make it very clear to you right now. Anyone who is without this knowledge leaves yourself open to be terribly destroyed. The dark-skinned people of America's only hope is Yahweh. I'm saying not only the so-called black men of America, But all people with dark skin, whether they be Chinese, Japanese, Korean or otherwise, Mexican or otherwise, all dark-skinned people are in imminent danger. As of this minute, you will not hear any other so-called black leader in America standing up teaching you what I am revealing to you tonight. In the first place, none of them know. They will only know after tonight. This is the fulfillment of John 16:13, that I will truly reveal to you and show you all things coming. Surely the Lord God Yahweh doeth nothing except he reveal his secrets unto his servants. Amos 3:7. Yahweh has revealed it, made it known to me. It is an absolute governmental secret. There is no way that I can know what I'm telling you tonight. It is impossible, according to the Pentagon, the military, and the government of America, for me to know what I'm telling you tonight. Yet, I'm going to give you all the facts. And the subject is, and I didn't write these headlines, America orders concentration camps for blacks. America orders concentration camps for all dark-skinned people. Wake up and remember Yahweh, all dark-skinned people of America. The minority white people have some terrible plans. Mass detention facilities, otherwise known as concentration camps, are being set up at a number of major U.S. military installations on the secret orders of the White House and President Reagan. Hear what I said? These are secret orders. This is not something that they are talking about setting up in the future. King Alfred and the choice is now in effect. You don't hear me, do you? King Alfred, that's in the yellow book in the back, and the choice is now in effect. We have learned that on April the 5th, 1984, this month, the White House issued a secret, highly classified national security decision directive. Notice I'm quoting it like it is. I said a national security decision directive which sets forth urgent instructions for the activation of 10 huge prison camps at key defense commands located across America. And if the fear of Yahweh does not enter your heart, you are insane. I am not warning you about what is coming. I'm telling you what is. It's coming because you don't see the full evidence yet, but I'm going to show you the evidence in a moment. You've seen the evidence and don't even know it. Oh, you've seen it and heard it and don't even know it. And you're supposed to be wide awake. And so you know that my mentally dead people definitely don't see. They already have 500,000, 500,000 young black brothers between the ages of 18 and 25 already locked away in the prisons of America to keep them from fighting against the devil in what they consider the inevitable black and white race war which they look to initiate at any time. You know, where the paramilitary groups have been training whites, Ku Klux Klan and National Rifles Association and all these folk. And you know how white people in the military, National Guard, and police forces have been doing riot training? Perhaps you don't know about that. You ought to. They know what you don't know. That's why they're preparing for it. Because they're the ones in charge of making these things happen. I said urgent instructions for the present activation. In other words, when you read King Alfred and the choice, it was projected as something that could happen in the event of an emergency. It is no longer, as of April the 5th this month, it is no longer something that is being projected in the future that might occur. It is being activated. That means they all are being fixed up, barbed wire tightened. All the plans to collect our people around the country is being made, all dark-skinned people, is being made to put you in concentration camps. It's already set, it's already started. They're fixing up 10 huge prison camps. Now, this minute, since then, the minority white man of America plans to pick off dark-skinned ethnic groups one at a time under different pretexts. It has been revealed that preparations are being set in motion for an unprecedented roundup of so-called aliens and security suspects from coast to coast. The trick and pretended primary goal of this vast police operation, code-named Rex 84, R-E-X 84. I checked today, and my black police officers in the highest rankings across the country have no idea about this law. They're going to call you in. They're either going to fire you, they'll be firing you around the country, or they're going to call you in and ask for your weapon. They're going to ask for your badge and your weapon. It's already starting to happen. You think it's just an isolated incident. They have already started. They've already been attacking every black public official nationwide, busted him from their offices, whether he's a judge, a senator, a commissioner, or whatever he is. They are under attack, being busted out, set up for crimes. They create a crime and induce you to fall into the trap with television. The code name is REX 84. This vast police operation is to detain and deport illegal immigrants. Did you notice on television this week where the police and immigration officials in California did a sweep on some manufacturing plants and put all Mexicans under arrest in the plant and made them produce ID. Those that did not produce ID that they considered sufficient, they took them away. You never want, they don't have any jail. Jail's already overcrowded. Where you think they took them to school? Those in California went to one of the California detention camps. I'm going to tell you why they're doing it all in a minute. Be patient. They use the media to get your sympathy by saying these people are taking your jobs. the minority white man gets your sympathy through the white-controlled one world government press by telling you they are taking your jobs. Anybody see the television this week or hear about it in the radio or newspaper? You were in sympathy, weren't you? They're illegal. I mean, who in the world is the white man to talk about somebody being illegal in America? Remember, we are here illegally. They captured us and brought us here. We've never been citizens. They have a voting rights bill amendment for you, and they have to vote on it every so often for you to be able to vote. You know, you're not a citizen. They call you second-class citizens. You're either a citizen or you are not. You better listen. Oh, my people, our great, good, and terrible black God Yahweh says, wake up and arise and hear the words of Yahweh and live. Rex 84 has another, even more closely guarded and carefully orchestrated secret objective: to apply the so-called CNC. How many know what CNC means? It means capture and custody. To apply the so-called CNC capture and custody measures against political opponents. That means anybody that's a politician that talks against the Republican or Democratic Party is going to be rounded up. All resistors, tax resistors, army resistors will be rounded up. All outspoken critics of the white government of America, whom the white minority considers dangerous, will be picked up. They're starting to do it. Anybody he just thinks in his mind is dangerous to his rulership, he's going to pick up. I'm on a mission waking up my people, and this is the acceptable year of the Lord Yahweh. Perhaps this law that I'm bringing out to you now will tell you why this is the year, and it got to be the year. With what's coming down after the election, you'll see all this going down. See, all dark-skinned people are dangerous to white rulership. How many understand that? If your skin is dark, white folk consider you dangerous. They have been playing with it in Miami. Part of this, the practice is called sweep. Sweep law. I mean, they just come out into the neighborhood and just take all black folk on the corners and on the streets to jail. They don't care whether you're a law. They have done it in Miami, and they have taken lawyers, teachers, doctors, everybody. Whoever's out on the street caught, you go to jail. And you got to prove you're not a wanted criminal. How many know about that here? They have pulled it off several times this past year in Miami. They have laws that they're practicing in many cities of America called stop, frisk, search, don't need a reason. You look suspicious. You know why they say that? Because they say all black folk look alike. You better wake up. This is no laughing matter. At present, the 4 principal civilian concentration camps to be established under the Rex 84 program, get this down, are to be located at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, Fort Drum, New York, Fort Indian Gap, Pennsylvania, and at Camp A.P. Hill in Virginia. Each one of these camps is being laid out to hold 25,000 civilian prisoners under the guard of American troops. not even under the guard of police officers. We must wake up now and remember that over half of America's military is black. That means that they will use the blacks in the military only so long as they remain dead.
That is powerful. That is prophecy revealed. We see every word that our fathers spoke 40 years ago happening on the streets today, happening in your neighborhood, down the street, around the corner. Rounding up people, call them illegal aliens, but we know they just sweeping the neighborhood. And they say if you get any type of warrants, you don't go home, whether you get papers or not, whether you a citizen or not. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to get to when we get to Power Talk. Before we get to Power Talk, have a word from our sponsors. Praise Yahweh.
Every day, humanity faces the same question. How do we make this world better? We've tried politics, we've tried money, we've tried power. But what if the real solution has been with us all along? In Ethics, How to Achieve Heaven on Earth, Dr. Lud Yisrael reveals a bold truth. Ethics is not just philosophy. It's the key to ending war, poverty, crime, and corporate greed. When we choose ethics, we choose peace. When we live ethically, we build heaven, right here on earth. Ethics, How to Achieve Heaven on Earth. The solution to every problem begins within us. Available now at shopyesstore.com.
Are you ready for a divine experience? YahwehRadio.com brings you uplifting music that feeds your soul. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But that's not all. Now you can watch the powerful teachings of the King of Yisrael, the most honorable, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Dive into his divine mind, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all at your fingertips. Feel the music. Watch the message. Experience the power. Visit YahwehRadio.com today and let your spirit rise. Listen, watch, believe. Subscribe today. YahwehRadio.com.
Yahweh said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yahweh...
At NOY Store, we bring culture, style, and wellness all in one place. Explore our collection of cultural apparel designed to inspire and connect. From t-shirts to polos, boldly tell your story. Need guidance on your journey? Check out our books written to inspire and support your spiritual, personal, and community growth. And give your body the care it deserves with our health and wellness products like natural toothpaste, soothing body butters, and more. We're always adding new products to empower your life so you can live with purpose and style. Visit NOYstore.com today, where culture, wellness, and inspiration come together. Shop at NOYstore.com. In a world where division often takes center stage, one organization is leading the way to a brighter, unified future. At Builders of the Highway Foundation, we believe in the power of unity. Our mission is to provide educational, economic, cultural, social, spiritual, and organizing resources for community advocacy to support the unification of good people. We're not just building programs, we're building bridges, connecting individuals and organizations to foster love, trust, and understanding. Our vision is simple: a world filled with communities transformed by morality, love, unity, and trust. Join us on our journey to create a more compassionate, inclusive world. Together, we can build a highway of hope, connection, and lasting change. Because when we stand together, we build a brighter tomorrow.
Rescuing our future since 2004. From beginner to advanced. From melodies to mastery. From practice to performance. Neo Jazz School of Music, creating space for young people to express and to grow. Now with 2 locations, New Orleans and Miami. Enroll today at neojazz.org. This program is dedicated to the spiritual resurrection of the righteous people of the planet Earth and to the establishment of the kingdom of true holiness and righteousness, the kingdom of God Yahweh.
You see, people take life to a different dimension, you understand me? But a Yahweh me seek and a Yahweh me serve, because Him are the God of Israel, which are the true living God. You understand me? He's 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
All right, then. It's all good. The end of time, end of the world as we knew it. It's over. It's a police state. It has been for 40 years now. People just wasn't calling it what it was, what it is. But now you have no choice. But see, it's escalating to the point to do its best. The powers that be, Satan, the wicked ones, rulers in high places, want you to fight with each other. Do their job for you. Kill each other. Do their job. Get rid of a bunch of y'all. Y'all know they only want 500,000 people on the planet. There's 8 billion people on the planet. They want to kill 7.5 billion people. Abortion wasn't fast enough. Crack wasn't fast enough. Gang violence wasn't fast enough. Abortion wasn't fast enough. And we know what they just tried. It did a good job. It's doing a good job of eliminating people who are not seeing what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a global one world government under the leadership of that old serpent called the devil and Satan. He and his demons, his angels, were cast out of heaven. That was a third of Yahweh's angels cast out of heaven right here. And when we see the quote unquote Epstein files, you see those demons. See, Hollywood make you think demons can fly, they can grow wings, they can do magic, they do tricks, you know. But the real demons sign bills and sign legislation and, you know, get paid off extorting your money, saying you have to pay them the money or you go to jail, and they take the money and they do satanic rituals of, well, we know what they do. They've been doing it since Jericho. I'm sure before Jericho, before the flood. That's why the flood came. These wicked, devil, demon people who are only about violence, only about corruption, only about wickedness, and you believe that anything you do can change them? Yahweh had to destroy them before the flood. He also has to destroy them also after the flood. So our only salvation is Yahweh. The world's only salvation from this wickedness is Yahweh. What did that scripture, Revelation 12:9, speak of? That Satan deceived the whole world? Think about how you deceive to believe that, oh, illegals, they take our jobs. When last time you saw your illegals working at fast food restaurants in your neighborhood? Or was it your children that's working at these fast food restaurants in your neighborhoods and getting these jobs and flipping burgers and doing these jobs? But then when last time you sent your children out to the farm to pick cotton and strawberries and stuff like that? So, you know, it's like this. That's one of those deceptive measures to pit people who's trying to survive any way they can against people trying to survive any way they can in a system that is designed for them not to survive. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Come on in here, Sister Tamar.
Incredible message, incredible indeed.
Praise Yahweh.
And the wisdom and the prophecies given to us for us to be prepared, be ready,
right?
Be mentally astute with what we
on the arm of Yahweh
have to do and how we have to be in these times. It's just amazing. So when you think about it, Yahweh ben Yahweh came giving us this understanding. He came in the full embodiment of John 16:13. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all things. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear
from Yahweh,
that shall he speak. And he will show you things to come. Yahweh girded us.
He showed us things to come.
he girded us, letting us know that on April 5th, 1984,
40 years.
40 years ago, that these decisions were forthcoming and the impact it would have on our entire society, not just one isolated individual or one isolated group of people, one isolated thinking group of people.
He said all
dark-skinned people. And the reality of it is Yahweh's infinite wisdom knew the dependency, the entire labor force, the entire workforce, the entire mechanism of this country is dependent on the dark-skinned people in the United States. Let's talk about it. Let's just isolate it right here.
So there go the rise of AI and robotics, and they have turned the factories into where they don't need people in the factories. They got the robots, they got the AI, automation, so that now they can get rid of all those jobs those black jobs, as they call them, those dark-skinned jobs, wherever it may be.
So the whole mechanism is designed, one, to keep us in a state of panic and fear, so that we can be obedient. The panic and fear is to get you to be obedient to all of the things, no matter how bad they are. We want you could choose a side. Now we'll give you the illusion of choice, but we want you to be obedient. So I thank Yahweh Ben Yahweh and his infinite wisdom for preparing us for this day. And so what we have to do, family, is continue to be obedient to the word of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. He came telling us what we needed to do. Many here can testify from words you experienced directly or indirectly from the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh of what you need to do. And so we have to continue to stick together. He gave us our motto. Our motto is one God, one mind, one love, and one action. But we also have to be cognizant, be mindful, be on one accord with what they're doing around this country.
Well, so you see the traps that they lay in, and avoid the traps, because those traps, they will fall in. And if you notice them, a lot of them, a few of them have been killed falling into the traps. That's them. So if they'll kill their own, what do you think they'll do to you and your own? So it's not about fearing them, because righteousness exalts the nation. Yahweh is our protection, like he protected Job. Job is the reference that Satan cannot do anything to us if we are faithful to Yahweh. Yahweh has his hedge around us, and we have no fear of nothing to be concerned with. We're not going out to the street to riot. We're not following around ICE agents trying to videotape their wickedness, because that's not our fight. Yahweh said that's his fight. Yahweh shall fight for us this time. We were obedient to Yahweh in the past, and we prevailed. And when we were disobedient to Yahweh in the past, we were destroyed. All the way to the point of a 400-year incarceration in the slavery in this land that we just now waking up from, through the appearance of the Messiah, the deliverer, the redeemer, the grand master of the celestial lodge, the blessed and only potentate, the Prince of Peace, the Son of the Most High, the most honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh appeared to us and resurrected us and raised that widow's son, that raised us up to understand what we must do this day. And it's not fighting with these ice cubes and these iced teas and these wicked devils. He said that we're not against none of that.
He told us
We
to
ain't wasting our energy. Go
he
ahead.
told us to be for.
We're for
that
Yahweh.
we're for Yahweh.
We're for Yahweh's laws, statute, judgments, and commandments. And the way we demonstrate that is by doing them, keeping them. We don't even have to talk about it. People see when you keeping the law, it's something about you. Period. And I know we can get a lot of testimonies from our family who are keeping the law and how different people approach them and saying, you know, what there's something about you, you know. Praise Yahweh. It's the Yahweh that you see, the El you see in us. And because we practice that every single day, all hours, minutes, and seconds of the day, we practice the laws, statute, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh. And we study them to understand them, have a greater understanding of them every day, constantly. That's our job. We have to prepare. There'll be no vacuum when the government of America is gone. We are here. We will already have set up a solidarity economy. We will already have set up our means of feeding ourselves and distributing food to our people all across the country. It's not Yahweh Ben Yahweh did it in the 80s. It's not a hard thing to do. Don't watch TV and the movies and think, oh, it's going to be zombie apocalypse and everything is going to be dead and all the systems. People who run those systems will still be around to run the certain system. They're employees. Their bosses might be gone. It might be free. Now you might go to job to work the water pump for your food and for your, you know, your energy and this stuff that we give to everybody. Everybody gets this stuff. It's a necessity of life. See, it won't be no apocalyptic world without wickedness. Come on, people, think about it.
Well, praise Yahweh. There's so much in this message. Yahweh being Yahweh, you know.
It makes good movies, though, huh?
It does. But that context does make for good movies. But our reality is Yahweh being Yahweh has come delivering us back to our truth. And our truth is that we are children of the Most High God, Yahweh. And we come with innate abilities, innate ways of being that allows us to be on one accord. And we really just have to tap back into that. And when we center on what is the root cause of the issue and not us as being the issue among ourselves, when we look at the root causes of these things, then we can begin to reconcile our own behavior first, and then our behavior with each other, and building shared ways of being. So it's so much in that working together phenomenon that we have to be mindful that we're learning how to be, and Yahweh being Yahweh came giving us. But one thing I just really want to kind of lift out on is the nature of what we see the world is experiencing, especially right here in the United States. We can testify here on this landmass, but make no mistake, this is happening across the globe. It is global now that the enemy of Yahweh, Satan, is being revealed across the globe. This is not a just isolated incident. But
global domination.
But Yahweh being Yahweh in his infinite love came delivering us this truth back then so that we can be mentally and emotionally prepared this day. Yeah. And then when you think about it, what have Black people in America have been experiencing? The stop and frisk. That's been a common thing in the Black community.
In the Black community.
So we have systems of communicating with each other to keep our loved ones out of danger.
They at it again. Stay home.
You know what to do. This is not a new thing.
Not at all.
Is being amplified, is being magnified because of where we are in the time.
And because it's happening to other folks too, who's getting in the way, it's been amplified. You know how we've been done this way for since the beginning, since they took chains off us, we've been done this way.
So,
and so it's not a out of the ordinary thing for us. Other folks experiencing it's a new thing.
but Yahweh ben Yahweh in his infinite love for us came giving us our motto so that we can develop a sense of being intentional about how we live. Intentional means we're putting forth an effort to do these things. We're putting forth a strategic shared thought to be on one accord to protect our families, ourselves, and our whole community. So this means using the power of mind that Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us. He told us that these things would be in our community.
So what you do? You go grab you as many guns as you can get. Of course not. Yahweh ben Yahweh told us, you don't need a gun for this.
You don't need a gun for this.
And if you have a gun, you probably end up being killed because of that fact. Just because you have one, your constitutional right to bear arms, Yahweh ben Yahweh taught us, do not carry guns, do not have them. He didn't want them around him. He searched you from coming into his temple to make sure if you had something like that, you left it outside. We don't need, this ain't no physical war. We can't shoot the devil and kill him, okay? That's just a fact. We do not need any of those weapons because our fight is not physical. Oh, the devil wish we would fight him physical. He pray.
If it were that simple.
He pray to himself.
But those of us who choose Yahweh, our souls are already won, and they are after our life energy, and we have the family just really recognize not to commit any of that energy into this society, into this system. The more you contribute to it, the more you continue to invest in it, and it keeps doing the same thing. It doesn't get better. You don't change it by operating
inside of it. You can't vote your way into freedom. You can't vote your oppression away. You can't vote racism and bigotry and prejudice away. You can't vote none of that away. You see that the last person was in was much worse. Then the next person get in and he get topped that. Then the next person get in and they top that one. And it's been that way back and forth, back and forth. Each one of them do worse than the one that we thought they was going to do better than the one that we had before. And if you keep playing that game, how worse can it get? Well, look at it. We had a totalitarianism. It's a police state. Right now in this city, they got National Guards on patrol. One of them left their rifle in a bathroom and on Bourbon Street. They must have been at the club drinking. They left a M16A1 rifle fully loaded in the bathroom on Bourbon Street. Can you imagine that? This is what we talk about, 18, 19, 20 years old, patrolling our streets, the National Guard, to stop crime.
Well, we are having a riveting conversation in here.
It's really hilarious when you look at it from Yahweh's perspective. Go ahead.
Yahweh ben Yahweh has us on fire in the studio. We know that this message is an electric message among all of our nation. But we want to encourage you to join us in this conversation. If you are joining us on the Zoom app and you were just lifted up by something our Father shared with us this morning, we invite you to come in and join us by pressing *6 if you're dialed in, or hitting that microphone to unmute yourself if you're on the Zoom app.
Yeah, it's amazing how we're seeing all of the things and the prophecies being fulfilled that we were taught 40 years ago.
It's amazing.
And we've had 40 years of wandering in this wilderness to prepare for this. But we do have a caller.
Yes, sir. Caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Praise Yahweh. Elizabeth Aaliyah on the White House right now. We all up in the White House. We getting ready to run it and take it over because Yahweh said it's not getting ready to go down, Trump. We're not the ones. And always, always know that Yahweh is the way. You have to stay posted and know what he said in Corinthians. God, in 9, he said, Yahweh is faithful, who has called you and us to fellowship with his sons. And he appealed to his brothers and sisters in the name of Yahweh that all of you agree with one another. And in that way, we will always rule this country, because that's what's getting ready to go down. Praise Yahweh. Alicia Leah, boots in the White House.
Praise Yahweh.
Love you.
And boots in it, boots on it. Praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for your comment. I thank Yahweh for the wisdom of understanding this. This is a very joyful thing to see that we are at the end. We are seeing all this great tribulation happen. That means we're almost to New Jerusalem. That's the way I look at it. It's almost time for us to inherit our city. And Yahweh said, it's real. It's coming. He told us in Holy Jerusalem, it will be a holy city, not old Jerusalem. Old Jerusalem, they can have that. But New Jerusalem is only for the saints, when the saints go marching in. And well, to achieve your city is to master the laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh. That's why we have to study, family. This study, is not for a few years or a few, we get a degree after 4 years and we done studying the rest of our life. Not like we do graduate school for a few more years and we do a doctoral thesis and, and then we done. No, when you study, it's a law of Yahweh. Study to show yourself approved unto who? Unto Yahweh. So that means all our lives, we are commanded to study the law of Yahweh to keep it to perfection. That's what we concentrate on this day. We'll be fine. All the riots, all of the race wars, all of the sweep and stop and frisk, we won't get caught up in that because we'll be somewhere studying. Somewhere either in our own libraries, in our own homes, because a lot of us have personal libraries. Another library, they generally don't sweep the library.
Well,
I'm just
the work that we're doing is making sure that we are like protecting ourselves in this mechanism that we deal with. And so when you say study, we definitely want to be astute on all things that's related to moral behavior. Yeah, Yahweh gave us ethics as a way of being. So with that, we definitely want to understand policy directives.
Absolutely.
Local ordinances.
Absolutely.
Things that may impact your day-to-day life. Yahweh didn't teach you to not be informed. A lot of times we'll see what's happening and we won't understand what that actually means and translates to in their actual actions till it happens to us.
Well, pivot. You have to pivot sometimes. Like we just, the city of New Orleans just elected a new mayor. The first thing the mayor does when she get in is talk about oppressing the people because the last mayor left a big deficit, a big hole. She spent money crazily. She, criminal people did criminal things, indicted and all of this kind of stuff. And then she left a big hole in the money. And so the new mayor say, well, I guess we're going to oppress the people to get some more money because that's what the government does, oppress the people through parking tickets and, and they towing people cars and charging them exorbitant fees to get their car back. And they know you need your car to go to work and yada, yada, yada. And so it's like, well, the pivot is, all right, we won't be parking. We'll bike. We'll get rides. We'll ride share. We'll do whatever it takes. So we won't have to park and be subject to your parking enforcement and all of this stuff so you can make this money because y'all were wicked. It just makes sense. So those are the things, being aware of the policy, being aware of your local municipality and all the things that's going on in your local and national government, so that you can pivot around and not fall into those traps. We do have a caller.
Caller with your line unmuted. You are now live on Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Power Talk.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Ben Yahweh. Woo, what a powerful class. And we truly have been blessed to have the 411 information from back in 84 about everything that's happening today that's causing many people distress. And all I have to say, family, is thank you, Yahweh. Thank you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, for coming to reveal everything to his children. I would like to share a couple of scriptures. And this scripture is dealing with, this is in Obadiah. And this was the vision of Obadiah concerning Edom. So Obadiah verse 3, as you know, Obadiah is only one book. So it's Obadiah verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself, continuing to verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 10 speaks about us, Jacob. Obadiah 10 says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame. We hear this all the time, family. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. That was verse 11. And the last verse is verse 12, which states, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. So family, for the past 400 years, as we all know, we, the Black people of America, the so-called Black people of America, have been treated the same way and have been abused and taken advantage of the same way everyone else is starting to experience right now. But when it was happening to us, were they rejoicing over our destruction? So family, we are seeing prophecy being fulfilled. And I want to say, don't be afraid. Don't have fear. Okay? Yahweh Ben Yahweh came himself for us. So have the joy in your heart, knowing that you are precious like Daniel in the lion's den. You are precious as Noah and his family that Yahweh gave an ark to. You are as precious as Lot when Yahweh came to right directly to his door. So just because you may live by yourself in an apartment, fear not. Don't think that Yahweh does not see you. You hold on to your Father with everything and know that he sees you, he knows your heart, and he came for his children to be delivered, not to be destroyed as the enemy wants to portray. Love you, family. Thank you so much for letting me share. Shalom, shalom.
Praise Yahweh. Thank you for sharing the message that Yahweh has given us. You don't have to worry. You keep Yahweh's law, statute, judgments, and commandments, and you will be safe. Yahweh has the power to save you from anything that he created. Everything that he created. Praise Yahweh. I tell you, this message is just bringing awareness to who Satan really is. Look at the wicked trafficking ring of these high elite people. One of them sitting in a figurehead seat, presidency. Nothing but a wicked entity that sees the public as insignificant things to use and exploit for their pleasure.
Indeed, you
Don't see you as an equal, as a person, as a human. See you as a thing.
Well, that is the entirety in the nature of the mechanism of this U.S. racialized capitalism system. People tend to think that just because you have systems of exchange, that equates to capitalism. And no, we have to understand the atrocities, the human and also land-related atrocities that continue to happen under this system. And what the concentration camps teaching was really talking about was yet another ploy in this system to keep people at bay and to control society. We continue to see all of these things happening it's like we're on a hamster wheel. It happens generation after generation after generation. Yahweh ben Yahweh came bearing the truth to us, revealing to us the light that just because it's under another label, it's still slavery. They use policy, directives, the ordinances. All of these things are designed as mechanisms that keep us, the entire people of this right here in this nation, on that hamster wheel.
And let's put it into practical terms. They got you in elementary school thinking. They still got you in the colors, white and black. They created whiteness. They created blackness. Now, all of the people identify with one of those colors, just like the Crips and the Bloods, as opposed to your culture. Your different various cultures, you identify with a color.
Or as opposed to a people united under Yahweh.
Well, this is the trick. See, they put the white slightly above the black so that the black would only see those so-called whites that's slightly above them, and there's the fight. And the whites can feel good because they slightly above those blacks. And so that whole society, that's a whole ploy to get those people that are at the bottom fighting with each other. And that 1% of the people that's at the top, the very top, they operate with impunity. They operate like every villain you've ever seen in any cartoon, TV show, movie, whatever it is. Every villain always is absolutely wicked and all about world domination. And that's what these people, all of the government, all of the politicians, they're all about dominating that group of people who are fighting against each other because of the colors to fuel their success, their prosperity, their wealth. I mean, how does a congressman have $30,000 in the bank, and in 2 years they got $10 million in the bank, and their salary is $180,000? If they save every dime, they would at best have a little over $300,000 plus they $30,000. They don't spend nothing, but they can't account for this money. But yet they're left to continue to do that. Whereas if we had excess of anything in our bank accounts, and they audit, well, you going to jail. So let's wake up to the reality that there is a very big divide against the so-called rulers and the peasants. I mean, what else can I call it?
Well, that's
the population.
And what you spoke about really made me think about that this system that's creating these things like concentration camps. they're not subscribing to the color game like we do.
No, they're not.
They're not, for them, it's all about their philosophy.
Mhm.
If you subscribe to the philosophy of that ruling class, they'll accept you, quite literally.
They'll use you.
They
Oh,
will
yeah.
use you, they will accept you. And so those are the things that we're facing. This isn't about the skin color game.
No, it's not about the skin color.
Though they start there because they fear us.
Right.
They understand that Yahweh came giving us the truth of ourselves so that we can really exercise our true power. And this is really what this is all about, is understanding our true power imbued upon us by the Most High Yahweh, that we are creators. We are those who can control an entire society. We've cultivated societies. We've innovated industries. We are, when we say pioneers, we are the originators of what it means to be civilized. Let's think about that. And that's the root of the fear, family, that we do have the power, the ability, the state of mind, consciousness to create a new society.
The fortitude.
The fortitude.
We've done it in the past.
And so this system,
even in the recent past,
this system doesn't want you to gain that amount of power.
Well, let's talk about
the
that.
more you wake up to yourself, the more they put more laws, more things
to keep you from
being what
yourself.
What it is that you're
the
designed
EL
to be.
in you. Right. Well, let's talk about that, for example, because we know that before the flood, there was civilization. Yahweh destroyed it. Every imagination of every heart was continuously wicked. Noah found grace in Yahweh. Noah was perfect in his day. Noah was saved, and the flood came and wiped away all those people, and it started over. Well, it wasn't time for the scenario to end. You know, Adam's 6,000 years of Satan's rule. It wasn't that time, but after that flood, when there was nothing, we began to build cities, and build people again with nothing. You just came from a flood, and you have no resources except people, and you began to do that. Well, fast forward to, leaving Egypt. We left Egypt with what we could carry, literally what we could carry. We wandered around 40 years, and our children began to take cities and build civilization for all of the inhabitants. All of that stuff was taken away. We were put in slavery again. We went into Babylon. We went into captivity. We came out of captivity, and we rebuilt society. We migrated, we did whatever it takes, but every time we had a reset of resources taken away from us, after the fact, we were able to rebuild again. In slavery here in America, for 400 years, 310 years, we were in chains on a plantation. Then they say you free with no resources. And we built cities. We built communities, we built towns, and they would destroy them. Every time we build them, they destroy them. We build another one, they destroy it. We build businesses, resources, grocery businesses, and all type of commerce, and they destroy it. So we have the ability to build when they're destroyed. Don't think that means we're destroyed. That means that the people who destroy what we do is gone. Now what can we build? Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Well, we are indeed in prophetic time.
Mm-hmm.
We're witnessing the fulfillment of prophecy that Yahweh gave us so many years ago. And our destiny, family, is to wake up to our reality. Now, what's different today than all those times that you named?
What's different?
What's different? What's different today is you. You, family, have experienced the coming of the Son of Man. You, Israel, have the power that has been passed on to you from the coming of Yahweh ben Yahweh. That is what's different today versus all those days.
We have Yahweh.
We have Yahweh. And so if you don't have faith in Israel's ability to overcome this day, that means you have no faith in yourself and Yahweh. Yahweh came giving you the power, family,
to become the son.
To become the sons of Yahweh this day. So we, the children of Yahweh, the children of Yisrael, have to embody this wisdom given to us. Yahweh ben Yahweh came telling us this day would be. We've been cultivated. We've been in a system of oppression for so long that we know how these things are going to look. We know how to circumvent certain things. We know that where they're going to set up. We know the ins and outs of our own cities, our own neighborhoods. And so as a people, we have an advantage. We knew that this day was coming.
Yep.
We've had the power to develop things on our own.
And prepare for these
prepare for these things. The difference today, family, is you. What are you going to do, Israel, to be the fulfillment of the prophecy that Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us this day?
Praise Yahweh. That's a profound question. And the question is only for us to make sure that we point our fingers at ourselves and improve ourselves according to Yahweh. Then we'll be like-minded. We'll be of the same mind, being on one accord, because we study to find out Yahweh's way, as opposed to that old serpent called the devil who deceived the whole world. He deceived us. We once was deceived. Some of our children were never deceived because we woke up. Yahweh resurrected us and we raised them from birth, serving Yahweh. So Yahweh has his chosen people to save, period. You have those who are dedicated to only one God, Yahweh, hadn't had the ability to worship multiple gods yet. You know, like we in our lives have been exposed to so many gods that we worship unaware. You know, Easter, eggs, and we out hunting eggs and, you know, do all these, Valentine's Day, we got candy and hearts and we looking for hearts and I don't have to go through it. You know what we were taught to worship. Even the 4th of July.
Yes.
It wasn't even the 4th, it was the 4th.
We have to resist the impulses that are given to us by these systems that we are currently residing in.
Absolutely.
These things are all based off the lower frequencies.
And they given us false gods all around us through the months, through the names of the months, through the names of the days, through name of products like tennis shoes, the Nike shoes. They give false gods around us constantly. We are surrounded by these evil gods that we choose anyone to worship, choose multiple ones, worship all of them.
And if you chase after them, you find yourself in position where you get caught up in these sweeps.
Right.
You know,
right.
Being at the wrong place at the wrong time. In clubs and bars and places where
in line for a new shoe that's being unveiled tomorrow at 4 a.m. you at the place in line.
We not blaming the people for the evil that the society has done, but we're just recognizing that Yahweh has come giving us.
They lay traps for you to come.
True that they do lay these traps, and our whole way of being, our lifestyle should be designed that we don't fall victim to these traps.
That's it. We should see them coming. We know it. That's just like how it was this thing where they gave a bunch of black men, I think 100 black men, free tickets to the football game, to the Washington Redskins football games. And they had to come to the auditorium, had to come pick up their tickets. They had an auditorium full of brothers, and then police came in and surrounded them and said, y'all all have warrants and y'all just turned yourselves in. Ain't no football game, ain't no tickets. We just lied to you and got you here. And they arrested every single one of them. They all in there in a jovial, I'm getting to go to the game. They all tricked. They fell for the trap. They're not going to give you anything. The last time anybody gave you something that was good for you, Yahweh ben Yahweh gave us our minds back. He resurrected, put our spirit back into us. It's the only one gave us something, Yahweh. This society has taken only. Sister, let me go on. Final thought.
I think Yahweh being Yahweh for his infinite wisdom. We know the traps. We are able to live a life where we're circumventing those traps and, withstanding this time that we're in so that we can see the way of building New Jerusalem. That's our work.
We truly overstand this system, not a part of it, not participating in it, not being subjugated by this system. We serve Yahweh only. Praise Yahweh, family. I look forward to doing this again next week because this is it. This is what time it is. Nation time. Praise Yahweh. That brings us to the end of this episode of The Unfolding Light. Please join us next week for another episode of The Unfolding Light. And now, if everybody will stand and face the east with outstretched hand, as we close out this episode with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Please join us next week for another episode of The Unfolding Light. And now, if everybody will stand and face the east with outstretched hand, as we close out this episode with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadesh Shemeaka, Tavo Malkuterika, Yad Zerizonka, King Bashemayim came by Aretz, and Lekam Kukenu, Tain Lanu Hayom, Uslat Lanu, All Kartienu, Kimosa Soul King, Gamanatnu, Lakotiam Lanu, Veal Tevienu, Lade Nisayom, King Kal Senu, Min Hara, Kilaka, Hamamlaha, Veha Givera, Veha Tefieret, Leolame, Olamin Sela. We thank thee, O Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. So let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. And always remember, Yahweh loves you, Yahweh Ben Yahweh loves you, and so does the nation of Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Thank you for joining The Unfolding Light, presented by the Nation of Yahweh. If you have any comments or questions, please email us at info@thenationofyahweh.com. Follow us online at thenationofyahweh.com and unfoldinglight.com. Get social with us. Follow the Nation of Yahweh on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, do remember to pay Yahweh and yourselves first and don't touch it, as instructed by the Most Honorable Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You can send your tithes, donations, and offerings to the Nation of Yahweh at P.O. Box 555-115, Orlando, Florida 32855, and be blessed continually according to Malachi chapter 3. Praise Yahweh and Shalom.
Yahweh, 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 Yahweh.